Today I've got something completely different. Printers. Now, I'm not a printer tech, and I really don't have much interest in repairing printers. But I got 3 of them here, and we're going to see if we can get a good one working here. And my hopes were high that I would get at least one of these 3 printers to operate. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what I run up against. What I have here is an old Canon Pixma printer, all in one. This thing's got a scanner with a flatbed scanner, and it's a fax machine and a printer, and I'm sure that it probably needs ink, and the cartridges are probably costing more than the unit itself. I'm basically just going to go over this thing, see if it powers up for one, and what powers up. A printer error has occurred. Cancel printing and then turn the device off. So I want to see what this thing does, because this may just end up going to recycling. This was given to me and it's been sitting around here for a while. I've been tripping over it for a while, and it's time to get rid of some of this stuff. So I just want to see what shape this is in. If it needs cartridges, I won't be buying them because, well, cartridges would cost as much as I'm sure the printer's worth. But it says an error has occurred. Cancel the printing, turn it off, turn it on again. And, well, it's probably beyond repair. But let's just check it out. Maybe we'll take it apart and then I'll throw it out. So I'm sure that it is probably out of ink, and that is probably what the problem with it is. And of course, anybody that knows anything about how expensive these ink cartridges are knows that you're not replacing them. It has no ink, magenta, and of course you can't refill these things because they got chips in them. No ink in the magenta cartridge, no ink in the black cartridge. The yellow cartridge we can't tell because it doesn't show, but I'm assuming that it does not have any ink in it. It's dry. The print head itself is probably also dry. There's another cartridge in here. Guess is this the one of these would be the extra dark, like for photo black, and one's regular black. PG black it's called. I guess that's photo black. And of course the cyan cartridge as well. Also, you can't see into it, but I'm assuming that it is also completely dry. These might have been aftermarket, these ones. Anyway, these cartridges are not cheap. And this thing's throwing an error in addition to that. So I have a sneaking suspicion that this thing is going to be going somewhere. Maybe it'll go to the second-hand store for someone else to go through. That might be where it goes. Second-hand store or off to recycling. Definitely not worth fixing though. I'm just seeing what happens here. Yeah, you see it's still got this support code 6000, whatever that means. So that's more than likely because the ink cartridges are completely empty. Anyway, it's junk. It's got a fax machine built in too. At the time, this was probably a relatively expensive printer, but as printers go, every time you turn around, a new printer is out, and it costs less than the previous one cost to replace the ink. And these are great for printing photos. I have a photo printer. I have a Canon 9900 or 9800, the wide cartridge. I haven't used it in years. It needs ink cartridges. They are hard to find these days. I think this one here, even though parts of it probably still do work, the fact that it's not even letting me boot it up, I think I'm going to cut my losses and just toss this out. So let's see what else I can check out today. This is another older printer. This one's a Brother. I believe this one's a laser printer, so I gotta plug this in to isolated power, otherwise it'll overload my isolation transformer, pop the fuse. So I'll plug this one in directly and see if it powers up. Okay, it says it's powering up. Again, I don't I know nothing about this unit. I was just asked to check it to see if it's workable or not. I have one similar to this. I think the one I've got is even a little bit older. The replaced drum. So this is another one that's going to be shot, I'm sure. But we'll see. So this one has the drum that goes in here. It's a cartridge and a drum. And well, I just so happen that I have a brother printer, and mine has a tendency to eat paper. Maybe I can score this one, and I think the drum is the same. I'm gonna go grab the drum from mine and see if this one prints, because I might be able to score this printer, because the person that owns it is not going to replace the drum, I don't think. It's an old printer. But if I've got one, the drum works on this, and this thing doesn't pick up 5 sheets at the same time like mine does. When I try to, I have to literally, I have to feed 1 page at a time into mine. It's a pain in the ass to print anything. I have to feed 1 page at a time. Mine's got a new drum in it. Mine's only had 150 odd pages printed on it, and it eats paper. But let's try that. I'm going to go grab the drum from mine, because I think it's the same as this one, and if I can make this one work, then I'll be happy. Maybe not though. This one's a TN 450. And mine uses a TN 350. What is the difference between the two of them, I wonder? I mean, they look similar. They're probably a different size. I bet you one's, yeah, okay. There's the difference. One's a little taller than the other. So, what I thought might have been a nice idea isn't gonna work. So, nice idea, but this one needs a drum assembly. I'll have to let the person that owns this know they need a new drum. They'll probably scrap it because of that, unfortunately. Cover is open, it says. It's gonna tell me to replace the drum. Look at this, they haven't even removed the this printer is how old? And they never even removed that. I got another one to look at. I'm gonna drag that one in next, and we'll see whether that one is serviceable or whether it's another piece of junk, like a lot of these have been lately. Be shooting 0 for 3 printers at this point, but let me grab the third one. We'll check that one out and see what's wrong with it. Maybe I can get it to work. This is the problem I have, of course, with these modern printers, is that they all have a counter. This would have been a nice one because it has Ethernet and wireless on it. I tell you right now, if they scrap this one, it's a 2011 printer, so it's old, but if they were to scrap this one, I might even try to find a drum for it and see if it'll work as a printer for myself. I have a brother printer now, but as I was mentioning, it sucks paper through it like 3-4 sheets at once and then jams. So it'd be nice to have one that I can actually print on. Although I said the one I got prints great, I just have to feed it manually, which is a pain. Let me grab the third one and we'll go over that and see whether that one can be saved. Okay, this is an MFC 7840. We can already see that it's got a problem. It's got parts broken. Yeah, okay. I think that might be the problem. So what has happened on this one is the catch for the lid is broken. It's actually the entire lid. Both of these catches are snapped. They both were part of the lid. Now, whether they can be glued back on or not, that's the big question. But they're both cleanly snapped off, as you can see, and they fit underneath here. They actually go into here. One attaches down here, and the other one attaches on the other side. Now, whether this can be saved or not, that I guess I'll have to try to see whether I can glue these in place, and we'll take it from there. See if I can glue it. And of course, this one uses a TN330, 360, or 2120. That's what this is a replacement for, which of course won't fit mine or the other one, because mine was a 350 and the other one used a 450. So again, we have another cartridge that is not compatible. Gotta love it how these companies do this, right? They do it on purpose. They do it on purpose. Every model has a different cartridge, so that when your one printer dies, you can't use a cartridge from one to use in another one. You gotta throw all your spare cartridges away and buy all new ones as soon as you upgrade. So where the clips that are broken go is one goes here and the other one goes over here. Now, I don't know whether these are going to be gluable or not. I guess I won't be able to find out until I attempt to glue them back in place. I mean, it looks like they should be gluable. We can try that. See if I can glue these in place and see if they will hold. Okay, I've put some JB Weld on. I have to hold these until the epoxy sets, and we'll see what happens, whether I'm able to get this back together without them breaking it again. But I'm going to have to stay here and hold this for probably a good 10 minutes and then let it harden up for about an hour before I attempt to reassemble anything. Alright, I've been holding them now for about 5 minutes, and it's now setting up. The epoxy is starting to set up quite nicely, and we're going to let it set and complete its curing, and then we'll try to put this back together and see whether it'll go together without them breaking again. Now obviously it's not going to be as strong as it originally was, but again, plastic gets brittle, so how long it'll last, if at all, I don't know. I'm certainly not making any money on this. This was just one that I was asked to look at, so we'll see if we can at least save 1 out of 3 printers. Alright, that feels pretty good. Pretty solid. Let's see if I can figure out how to get this thing to go back together. I know I gotta put these springs in. This could be fun. Help if I put it this way. See if I can get the top cover to slide in here without breaking anything. I may have to release these white clips here and pull this track out in order to reset. I think these will come out. I know it's impossible to see, but there's a little white clip that you pop out from the back, and then this piece lifts out like that. So there's a little catch here, and this little clip sits in behind it and holds that catch from moving. It sits down like that. So you lift this clip up, and then you can pop this clip, which will then release the arm. And I got to do the same on the other side, and then I should be able to tip this far enough back that I can put the broken catches that I've repaired back in the hinge at the back, and hopefully that will fix the problem. So I've got to do the same on this side. Where is that clip? It's hiding down here. I got to pull a little plastic clip out. Of course, I got to get the spring out of the way too. Lift up the little clip, which I can barely see, but it is in here. Little clip will pop up. Okay, I got the little clip now. And now I can pop this other clip out of the way. And then this whole piece will pop up like that. And I can remove that and that little clip. Now I should be able to put these hinges back together that I just glued in place. Like that. And now put the clips back together. If only it was so easy. One side's in, let's get the other side in on this side. like that. Okay, now I just got to put the clips, put the hinge back together, and fingers crossed it will work. So put those back in and slide them in place. Spring clips in. That goes on like that, and it just slides into a like that. Okay, that's one side. And now we'll do the other side over here. Get the spring around the big end of the clip around on here again. Again, this piece has to slide into, I don't know if I can show you guys or not. I'll try to get a shot of it if I can, just so you can see what I'm working with here. So this is the piece here. If I get the camera a little bit lower so you can see what I'm doing. This fits in here like that, and then it slides into a slot in the front and just clips down like that, and then the spring, I got to put the little lock piece back in, but the spring clips around at the back here. There's a little catch that the spring goes around, where you can get the spring out of the way as I put the back lock in place. Easier said than done. There's not a lot of room in here to do this, but I can get this clip in the back here and stick it down in place and lock it in place. That locks that one in place. And then I can pull the spring and maybe with some pliers get the back end of the spring around its catch. Back there. There, that one's in place. I got to put the other lock clip in on the other side and attach it spring. And then hopefully that will do it. Get this out of the way. I got to get this clip in. Camera's kind of in the way with what I'm trying to do here, but we'll see if we can work with it. Whoops, dropped it. Jesus. Yeah, Bill. There it goes. It's in place. Now we'll pull the spring back along behind here. The spring goes onto that. There. I believe I fixed it. I fixed it! Woohoo! Yeah! That's how it's supposed to work. Excellent. Now, that piece here that goes on here somewhere, might go on the top up here. I don't know where the heck this piece goes. It's a paper guide of some type. It's at the front. Maybe it's the front here. That goes in here. Oh, a little tab is broken off of it for the feed. How does this go in? I take it clips in like this somehow. There. I think I fixed it. Let's try it out. Okay, I think the scanner is getting stuck here. Something's sticking in the scanner, or a sensor's not working and it's not detecting the scanner's back at the end. Okay, what else is wrong with this? Now what do I got to take apart? Do I have to take this piece apart? See what's going on here. Maybe the ribbon connector is damaged. It was a ribbon cable and I didn't tear it or anything, but maybe it's been pulled loose from one of its connectors or something. I got to get under this. Take a look under here. It's either under here or under this part. Gone all this way to get the mechanical part working. Oh, I'd hate to have to abandon it now after getting this far. So we'll just remove some screws and see whether it's something jamming. I think this will lift off the top glass if I lift these screws out. With more screws under here that have to come out to get this apart, and I'm starting to get the feeling that this thing was dropped. That's why the lid was broken. This was dropped, and I bet you there's going to be other parts in here that are broken, and I'm just wasting my time. I'm good at wasting time on crap like this. I tell you. How does this come apart? Probably more hidden screws down here that I haven't seen yet. Of course there are. There's more screws. God damn. All right. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. More screws. I think this thing just broke again. I think I'm gonna condemn this unit. I don't think I can do anything but condemn it at this point. This is ridiculous. This unit's been dropped. I'm not getting anywhere. I think it's time just to walk away from this one, to tell you guys the truth. There's more screws that hold this bed, and I'm probably going to find broken parts under here. There comes a time when one has to just wash their hands on crap like this. This unit's obviously been dropped. There was pieces falling out of it that appear to be broken. I don't even know where these pieces go. Looks like this sits on the end here somehow. But these were, I could see these were loose under the scanner when it was in its home position. What's happening is these were jammed in behind here, so it's not getting all the way back to its home position. But there's also these other little, I think these are part of an optical sensor of some type. They're just lying in here. At this point, I'm washing my hands of it. This thing's not worth fixing. So 0 for 3. Oh well, as I say, you can't win them all. And this is 3 printers that, well, one of them just needs a toner. One needs a drum. That one will probably work again with the new drum. But this one here, this one's been dropped. So I'm going to wash my hands of this one. So that's 0 for 3. So thanks for watching. Now I can throw this stupid thing back together and let the person that owns it know that they shouldn't drop their printer if they expect it to work. And I think that's exactly what happened on this, and that's why the clips on the back were broken initially, is it got dropped. Catch you later.